Brachos Daf Vav is completely in Agadata Blat. The Gemara will here describe to us many things about various different subjects. The Gemara has a lot of things to tell us about Mazikim. The Gemara will tell us about the special zuchos of shuls. The Gemara will show us where the Shechina can be found. The Gemara will discuss tefillin, both that of Klal Yisrael and that of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And the Gemara will talk about weddings and a number of other assorted subjects. So let's jump right in. The Gemara first discusses Mazikim. What are Mazikim? Mazikim are evil spiritual emanations, sometimes translated as demons, also referred to as shadim. So the Gemara tells us a number of things about Mazikim. First of all, the Gemara says they are all over the place. They are surrounding us. The Gemara says if you'd be able to see them, you wouldn't be able to stand. You would not be able to bear all the demons that are surrounding you. The Gemara says there are 1,000 on your left, 10,000 on your right. The Gemara says they surround us like a moat around the little hilltop that a tree is planted in. Then the Gemara gives a list of strange effects that you might notice which are caused by these mazikim that you might not realize. The Gemara says sometimes you'll see that you're sitting at a shir and it's pretty much spaced out. There aren't so many people sitting near you, but you feel squishy. The Gemara says that's because of the demons that are surrounding you. The Gemara says sometimes your knees will be tired and you can't figure out why. That's because of these mazikim. The Gemara says your clothing might get worn out and you can't explain why. It shouldn't get worn out so fast. That's because of the mazikim that are sitting near you and are rubbing against you. The Gemara says you'll find that your legs are scraped up. They seem to be injured. Why? The Gemara says again, mazikim. Then the Gemara says there are two ways that a person could see mazikim should he happen to want to. One of them, you won't see the mazikim directly, you'll see evidence of them, and the second one, you'll see them directly. The first strategy is as follows. What you have to do is take ashes, sift them so that you have a fine ash powder, spread it around your bed at night. When you wake up in the morning, you'll see tracks in the ashes. That's chicken tracks. Those are made by the feet of these mazikim. They all have chicken feet. Second manner of seeing it, the Gemara says you have to find a black female cat, firstborn, which is the child of another black female firstborn cat. In this cat, you have to get hold of its amniotic sac, or its afterbirth, its placenta, burn it, turn it to ash, take that, put some of it on your eye. Then you'll be able to see these mazikim. The Gemara says if you're going to do this, look through a very thin metal tube and seal up the end of the tube as much as you can so that seeing these mazikim does not injure you. The Gemara notes that if Bibi Bar Abaye did this and he was injured, but the Rabbanan prayed for him and they were able to heal his injury. The Gemara now discusses a number of things about tefillah. We're going to get back to it, but first let's move to what the Gemara says right afterwards, which is 5 places where you can find the Shechina in an extra special strength. The Gemara says you can find the Shechina in shul. As it says, Elikim Nitzav Ba'das Kel. You can find the Shechina whenever there's a minyan, like it says, Elikim Nitzav Ba'das Kel. You can find the Shechina whenever there are 3 people sitting in judgment of Divrei Torah, like it says, B'kerev Elikim Yishpait. You can find whenever 2 people are learning, like it says, Oz Nidbru Yirei Hashem Ish El Reyehu. And then you can find the Shechina whenever there is actually one person sitting and learning like itself, like it says, B'chol makam asher asker es shemi, avay elech overachticha. So all these 5 things, you can find the Shechina there. The Gemara throws in the end of the pasuk as Nidbru Yirei Hashem. The Gemara said, El cheshvei shemoi. So the Gemara says, what is cheshvei shemoi? What does that mean? The Gemara says, if somebody plans on doing a mitzvah, but he can't, he's blocked by forces beyond his control, it's considered as if he did the mitzvah. So, again, the 5 things were shul, minyan, 3 people sitting in judgment, 2 people learning, or 1 person learning. So now the Gemara is going to say that the larger numbers should be obvious if you have the smaller ones. Why do I need each one? So the Gemara says, if I have that the Shechina sits where you have 1 person learning, why do you need to tell me that there are 2 people learning? The Gemara answers because when 2 people are learning, the pasuk says Oz Nidbru Yirei Hashem, and it adds at the end V'Yikasev Sefer Zikaron. This is written down in the Sefer Zechronos, the book of Chronicles. 1 person learning by himself, it's not written. Then the Gemara says, okay, if I have 2, why do you have to tell me if I have 3? The Gemara says, hold on, 3 people, that was 3 people sitting in judgment. I would have thought that that's not learning. The Gemara says, well, the chiddush here is that 3 people sitting in judgment is also called learning, and the Shechina joins over there. The Gemara says, why do you have to tell me that if there is a minyan, you have the Shechina there? If you have 3, certainly if you have a minyan. The Gemara says because when you have a minyan, the Shechina arrives even before the minyan is fully there. Three people is only when all three are there does the Shechina arrive. When you have a minyan, it's there right away. Now the Gemara moves on to discuss tefillin. So the Gemara says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu puts on tefillin. How do you know? It says, Nishba Hashem b'yamini uvizreya uzoi. Your word yaminoi is referring to Torah that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has, and uzoi is a reference to tefillin. How do you know uzoi is a reference to tefillin? It says, Hashem oiz la'ama yitain. Hashem gave oiz to his children. So who says that that's tefillin? Yeah, the Gemara says it's tefillin, because the pasuk says, V'ro kol ami ha'aretz kishem Hashem nikra lecha v'yoram mimeka. All the people of the world will see that HaKadosh Baruch Hu's name is upon you, and they will fear you. That sign of fear is a sign of the strength that you have. The Gemara says, why? What is this referring to? That the people will fear you? That's when you have tefillin, biroish, tefillin on the head. Technically it says in the head, which means that the tefillin also have to affect the person's behavior. Then the Gemara wants to know the tefillin that HaKadosh Baruch has, what does it say inside? The Gemara says the pasuk is Mika Amcha Yisrael Goy Echad Ba'aretz. Our tefillin saying it Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, and Hashem says Mika Amcha Yisrael Goy Echad Ba'aretz. The Gemara makes the point: Has Hashem Hamarta Hayayim, Hashem Hemirecha Hayayim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu's tefillin talk about our uniqueness. Our tefillin talk about His uniqueness. We make Hashem into one in the universe, and He makes us into one in the universe. The Gemara now says, hold on a second, tefillin doesn't have only one bias, one compartment. Tefillin has 4 compartments. You told me about one thing that it says on Hashem's tefillin. What does it say in the rest of the compartments? The Gemara says that the rest of the compartments contain a number of psukim. One pasuk is, like we said, Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. The next compartment contains 2 psukim. Kimi goy gadol asher lo Elokim krivim elav ka Hashem Elokeinu b'chol karenu elav. Again, in praise of the Jewish people. Another pasuk in this same compartment, Umi goy gadol asher lo chukim u'mishpatim tzadikim k'chol Torah zayis asher aneich noisin levnei chamayim. Who has wonderful mitzvahs like you have, Klal Yisrael. Then we have another compartment that has the pasuk of Ashrecha Yisrael Micha Moicha Am Noisha B'Hashem Mogen Yisrecha V'Asher Chev Gavasecha V'Yikacha Shu Evachalach V'Atal B'Mesei Moi Sidroich. The same compartment has in it the pasuk of Mika Amcha Yisrael. So you have Ashrecha Yisrael and Mika Amcha Yisrael in the same compartment. So that is 2 compartments so far. Shema Yisrael was not in Hashem's tefillin. Shema Yisrael is in our tefillin. The third compartment contains the pasuk Oyanis Elokim Lavi Lekachas Loigoy Mekarev V'Goy B'Matzos B'Yisrael B'Mayisim V'Milchama V'Chazaka V'Zoyanatuyu V'Meroim Gedayim K'Chol Asher Asa Lachem Hashem Lekechem B'Bitzrayim Le'Einecha. Again, praise of Klal Yisrael. And the fourth compartment contains the pasuk L'Sitcha Elyoyin Kol Hagoyim Asher Asa L'Sehila L'Shem L'Seferes L'Yoischa Am Kadosh Hashem Lekecha Kasher Diber. All these 4 compartments are combined into one in the other set of tefillin that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wears. Okay, now the Gemara fills us in on a number of things about shul. So before that we skipped, the Gemara had said that a person's tefillah is only accepted in shul, or it's more readily accepted in shul, like it says, L'shmoi ala rina v'ala tefillah, a person's tefillah is accepted in a place of rina. Rina is prayerful song, a singing form of prayer, which is something which is commonly found in shul. Now the Gemara says that when a person who usually comes to shul is not present, the Kadosh Baruch Hu asks after him. Like it says, Mi b'chem yirei Hashem, shemea b'kol avdei, asher halach chashachim, ve'ein enoi galoi. Hashem asks, where is this person? Why does he have no light? He didn't come to shul, he doesn't have light. If he went for some other personal business and he avoided shul because of that, Hashem says he has no glow, he has no light. If he went for dvar mitzvah, then he still has the light. If he went for a personal thing, the pasuk continues and it says, Yiftach b'shem Hashem v'yishayin be'elokov. He should have relied on HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He should not have gone to take care of his business instead of going to shul. It says the Gemara further, another thing about shuls. Rabbi Yochanan says, if HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes to shul and there's no minyan there, he's upset. Like it says, Madua basi ve'ein ish. I came and there's no people. Karasi ve'ein oina. I called and nobody answers. Another thing about shul is the Gemara says, Amar Chelbai. Somebody who has a set spot in shul is tremendously wonderful things. He always is careful to have a makam kavua, a set place. Wonderful things. First of all, he is considered to be one of the students of Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu had a set spot in shul. How do you know? Because the pasuk says, Vayamoid Avram stood. Vayashkem Avram b'boker al makam asher omad sham. He went to stand. Amida means tefillah. He went to stand in tefillah to the place that he prayed before. Says the Gemara also, if he has a set spot in shul, after he passes away, everybody will say, Malachim will say, "Oy, where is the humble one? Where is the chassid? We're missing this one." These are all things that come because of tefillah in shul, in a specific spot. The Gemara says more about shul. The Gemara says on a person's way back from shul, he should be careful not to run. He doesn't want to make it look like he's in a rush to get away from shul. On his way to shul, he should run. He should want to look like he's in a rush to get to shul. Even on Shabbos, when we're normally not allowed to run, a person is allowed to run in order to get to shul and to show that he's in a rush to get to shul. The Gemara says Rabbi Zera saw the Rabbanan running on Shabbos and they thought, oh, they're being Mechal Shabbos, not allowed to run on Shabbos. Then he realized that they're going to the shir, they're going to shul, and he realized the person should run to get to shul, and he brings a pasuk to support that. Achar Shem Yechol Ka'aryeh Yishog, and then he says, therefore I also ran. The Gemara now has a list of 7 interesting things where someone went to do something which is a good deed, but he didn't get the full reward for it. He did get a minimal reward, even though he didn't really appreciate what was happening. So the Gemara says, first of all, somebody who goes to shir, he gets schar, he gets reward for running to shir, even if he didn't understand anything that happened in the shir and he can't repeat it. Somebody who goes to the Shabbos drasha, where the halachas are discussed, he gets reward for being squashed in, even though he doesn't understand what's being said. Somebody who learns, he gets the schar, the reward of the logical thoughts and being able to think logically that he picks up from that. The Gemara says further, somebody who goes to a house of mourning, so his reward is quiet. He gets praised, he gets schar for being quiet, for sitting there quietly, either because you're not supposed to start the conversation, or because he's quiet and his presence provides comfort for the mourner. Somebody who fasts a fast gets credit even just for the charity that's usually given at the end of the fast day so that the poor people could have what to eat. Somebody who attends a eulogy gets credit, or says a eulogy, gets credit for the tears that people cry. And somebody who goes to a wedding gets tremendous schar for speaking to the chassan and the kala, the bride and the groom, making them rejoice by the fact that he's there and he's talking to them. That's the best way to get schar, the Gemara says. The Gemara now adds another thing about shuls. The Gemara says somebody who comes to shul but he doesn't go into shul, he stands outside the shul with his back to the shul. It looks like he's praying to something else other than what everyone else in shul is praying to. So the Gemara says he's called a rasha. The Gemara quotes the pasuk Savav Rishayim Yis Halichon. The Gemara brings an incident about, he says that this is only if he doesn't face the shul, if he has his back to the shul. The Gemara has an incident about it, that there was a person who came to shul and he prayed with his back to the shul, and an Arab merchant was walking by and he looked at him and he sees he's praying with his back to the shul. He said, what are you doing? It looks like you believe in 2 gods. One that they're praying to, one that you're praying to. He was very upset. He pulled out a knife and he killed him. The Gemara brings another incident. The Gemara explains the end of the pasuk we just quoted. The end of it is Kerum Zulus Livnei Adam. The Gemara wants to know what this means. The Gemara provides 3 explanations. First of all, Rum meaning high up, Zulus meaning degraded. Livnei Adam. People think that this thing is very degraded, it's very low down, but the truth is that it's a very high thing which stands at the summit of the universe. What's that? It's referring to prayer. The next explanation, the Gemara says, if somebody needs other people, he needs Bnei Adam, so then he goes from his face becomes like a krum. What's a krum? The Gemara says a krum is a type of a bird which lives at the end of the sea, and when the sun shines on it, it turns all kinds of colors. A person's face also turns colors when he needs other people. The Gemara then adds, what else happens? That it's like going through fire and water. If you need help from others, it's a terrible experience. The Gemara now speaks about tefillah. The Gemara starts off by saying Tfilas Mincha is a wonderful thing. You should not be mizalzel in it. You shouldn't be cheapening Tfilas Mincha. Why? Because Mincha is when Eliyahu was answered on Har Carmel. Eliyahu, who showed that HaKadosh Baruch Hu was the true God against the Baal worshippers. That was at Mincha time when he began to pray. The Gemara says you have the same thing by Ma'ariv, because Ma'ariv is also called Mincha, like it says in the pasuk. Tikkun tefillah sikit haris lefanecha masas kappa minchas erev, mincha in the evening. The Gemara says shachris too. Shachris is important also. It says Hashem biker tishma koili biker erch lechava atzape. It's a good time to pray. So all three tefillahs are important and should not be treated lightly. The Gemara now moves on to say a few things about weddings. The Gemara says if you go to a wedding, you have to make sure that the chasan, the groom, rejoices from having seen you, that you make him happy. The Gemara says if you don't, you lose 5 opportunities for a voice blessing you. 5 kailos. What are they? Like the pasuk says, kol sasayin, kol simcha, kol chasan, kol kala, kol aimrim hoiday as Hashem tzavakes. These are 5 kailos that you could earn if you make the chassan rejoice. You lose if you do not. The Gemara says, and if you do make the chassan happy, what do you get? So the Gemara says, you get these 5 kailos, and you get the Torah which was given with the word kail 5 times. Where is that? That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That is 5. Kailos was 2. That's plural. So the Gemara says, hold on a second, there's another one. It says, everybody saw the voices, everybody saw the thunder. The Gemara says, nah, that doesn't count. That was voices, that was kailos before Matan Torah actually began. The Gemara says, another thing that you'll get if you make the chassan happy, it's as if you brought a korban toida, like it says, Miviyim toida beis Hashem. The Gemara says, it's like you rebuilt one of the destroyed homes of Yerushalayim, like it says, Ki Asher v'shvus ha'aretz k'varishayna Amar Hashem. Now the Gemara talks about somebody who has Yiras Shamayim. The Gemara says somebody who has Yiras Shamayim has a couple of wonderful things. First of all, people are going to listen to him. Like it says, Seif davar kol neshama salikim yira, ki zeh kol ha'adam. The Gemara says further, somebody who has Yiras Shamayim, fear of heaven, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says the entire world was created just for him. Rabbi Bar Kahana says the entire world is equal to him in importance. He's as important as the rest of the world. Shimon ben Azai says everybody wants to be partner with him if he is a person who has Yiras Shamayim, fear of heaven, fear of doing the wrong thing. Now, the Gemara says somebody who knows that his friend will always give him shalom, he will greet him with a blessing of peace first, he should be careful to give that person shalom first. If you see him coming towards you, try to run and greet him first. And if you are given shalom, somebody greets you and he says shalom and you don't respond, it's like stealing. Like it says, Va'atem bi'artem v'kerem, gazlas ha'ani bivotechem, like you stole from the poor.